good. That's what I want to do. I would like to hold it.
You decide you want to put it down.
No, I like it. This feels better.
Okay. All right, Jen.
What a time to be alive. Beep, bop, boop. That was the longest poop I've ever taken.
We are back. Long bathroom break. I went to Cabo. I went to Colorado. I went to Cabo. I went back to Colorado. And you finally said, hey, I'm out of the restroom.
I finally took my poop.
And now we're back.
Yeah,
Cheers.
we're doing Fireball. Fireball! Oh my God.
Not good. Is that water for me?
It's free.
Oh, so disgusting.
Is that Christmas?
No.
I'm gonna start this
Oh,
water
it's
now.
so gross.
Why? No,
Why
it's
do you guys?
not.
Why do you guys drink that?
It's better than Jaeger. Our generation was raised on Jaeger.
And Goldschlager.
That too. So everyone's like, ew, Fireball. And I'm like, pussies, it tastes like Big Red
Cinnamon Big
and
Red.
Christmas.
Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber.
All of it. Any kind of Christmas. I love Christmas so much. I can't wait. All right. Oop.
All right, if we can pick up where we left off.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I think it was primarily we got to modern day. Now we're gonna talk about what talk about what you have going on in the future, what your experience is like with modern day writing and choreography, and where you think the spin community is going to go with a mixture of modern day versus OG style writing, like
What's
you
OG?
and other people do.
You tell me.
Basic movements.
You were about to say basic bitch, weren't you? Don't lie.
Basic movements.
Can
Drops.
you hear me now?
I can hear you. Drops,
Drops, go.
obliques,
Uh-huh.
tap backs.
I love all that.
I know. It's all simple. Isolations,
Yeah.
2 count travel, 4 count travel.
Ooh, did you hear my throat gurgle?
I just got aftertaste of Fireball. I'm trying to learn Spanish. I think that translates
Shut up.
to está no bueno. Está no bueno? Es no bueno? Something like that?
No, es bueno.
No es bueno.
So what I think is happening right now is, well, not what I think, what I know, is that there's a lot of, there used to be only so many things that you could do on the bike, right? It used to be just like limited to, tap to push, seated flats, hills, corners, pushes, press it, all that. But now it's like a full-on dance recital. And as much as I love to dance, yeah, we should put our sunglasses on for this.
Do it.
As much as I love to dance. Oh my God, I love to dance. It's my favorite thing to do. I was on the dance team in high school, but I was also in band. Don't get it twisted. I was both cool and not.
So you were a swimmer, a dancer, and you were in the band. What?
Best high kicks every year. The award goes to me. I have a trophy to prove it. Could kick my own face.
Kick your own
and
eye.
Flute. Like Lizzo. Listen, during the pandemic, side note, Lizzo, I'm mad because I sent a lot of auditions your way because I didn't have anything else to do.
Did you want to be one of her dancers?
No, well, she was a flute player. So I would do like flute playing things and dance to her music. Like I was auditioning myself.
Was this on TikTok?
Yeah. I was always like, hey, Lizzo, sup. And then I would like take, and then I'd twirl it, throw it up. And then I'd be like, wow, play it again. Like all of it.
What'd she say?
She didn't say anything because she didn't ever see it. I'm mad.
Wait, you never sent them, or
No.
she never saw them?
I tagged her. I sent them. Y'all remember what pandemic was like? Lockdown. We didn't have nothing to do. So that was my activities were for like 4 days out of the whole lockdown. Me auditioning for Lizzo to be her backup flautist / dancer. Nothing. She didn't even look at it. I'm sad. It's okay.
It's like a bad date for a guy. She didn't even look at it.
I know. Didn't even see it. I'm kind of still upset about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But here we go. Sarah, come on. Come on now. Perfect.
There she is. There's
Scoot
Sarah.
Scoot on in. Come on. Nope, Sarah.
We're talking about bad dates. And when a guy says she didn't even see it, like that's a bad date for a guy.
Or Lizzo, I'm mad at you right now. Because I played the flute. It's a whole thing.
Did you know that she sent in audition videos to Lizzo to be a backup flautist?
Watch out for the cord. And twirl. There it is. Pfft. Terrible.
The one and only.
Did you see her?
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
We might get Sarah on here someday.
Gears. Oh, you liked it. You liked that way too much.
She did smile.
I just put my finger in.
She did smile. Amy's going to be like, okay, you have to edit all of that out. But you know what? This is Jen.
Yep. Do not put in the part where Jen sniffs her finger after Sarah bent over and she fingered her butt.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, yeah. Lizzo, flute player, dancer, all that. No one ever got in touch with me. I was like, do I call Hollywood? Does Hollywood call me? I don't know, but no one called me and I didn't call anybody, so it's fine.
You worked in Hollywood.
Yes, I did.
So
I was basically the Devil Wears Prada. That was my life, just for not Vogue.
what does she say? She goes, get Prada on the phone? Who is it?
Listen, I had all the numbers. That was actually, I don't know if I'm going to be, I don't know. I feel like, nah, it's fine. No, listen, I can say it now because they're not in business anymore. I was the executive assistant to the president of Rockin' Republic. Does anybody remember Rockin' Republic?
Yeah.
Remember that with the R's on the butt?
Lots of bedazzled.
When denim
Bedazzled
was,
denim.
When denim was at its like peak of like expensiveness and it was ridiculous. Ugh.
Not too long after Brittany and Justin broke up.
Valid. True.
Right?
I feel like, yeah, maybe, yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes. Brittany wasn't yet where she is now.
She hadn't shaved her head.
No, that was actually around the same time. So, honestly, there were a few nights where I was like, I totally understand why Brittany's shaved her head and went off.
She shaved her head with K-Fed, I think.
Yeah, well, I get that because I worked for a terrible, terrible person. But my life was the Devil Wears Prada. My life was the Devil Wears Prada. Come on, Sarah. I fingered your butthole and I smelled my finger.
It's okay. You're good.
All I have to do is turn the switches off.
Turn them off.
Okay.
She's supposed to have her sunglasses on. It was her idea, and she keeps taking them off.
It was my idea, but they're scratched.
You can't see that in the video.
Oh.
The whole cup and fireball, is that what you're pointing out?
How do people carry these huge things around? It's too much. I love you. Don't join anything.
We'll do our best.
West Side.
I mean, she's wearing her Ice Cube do-rag.
I used to get picked on. Listen, I used to get picked on in like junior high by the Mexican gangs because my last name is De Socaras, and they were like De Socaras.
Car, razzle dazzle.
De So Car Razzle Dazzle.
So you got picked on by the Mexican gangs.
Yeah, because they were like, "You aren't Mexican enough," and I was like, "Bitch, I'm not. I'm not."
Is that West Texas? That was in West Texas, right?
Yes, okay. I'm half Cuban, half Southern Belle, and they were always like, "You like." They thought that my last name was Mexican, which is totally legit. That's fine to understand and see a Z. I feel like this isn't gonna bode well with the masses. But I'm not Mexican. I'm half Cuban, which stems from Spain, not Mexico, which is nothing wrong with that. But the girls in Midland that were in gangs in junior high, oh yes, they would shove my head into lockers. They were mean people. Because they were like, well, you're not being a true Mexican. And I was like, I'm
not Hispanic at all.
Well, I'm half Cuban, but I'm not Mexican, but it's fine. But then I learned very quickly, here's what you do. Fuck around and find out. You fuck around and find out. You become friends with the main one, the main girl. This is where I have to put my sunglasses on right now. Her name was Letty.
She doesn't even know that your glasses are scratched.
No. Shh. Say nothing. Shh. You become friends with the main one.
The HBIC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I learned this in 7th grade. And then you find your shoes that you don't want to wear anymore, but she likes, and you're like, hey Letty, I see you've been liking my shoes. Do you want them? All right, cool. No one ever fucked with me again.
Smart move.
Right?
It's an easy payment.
Easy day.
Especially if you don't want to wear them anymore.
Oh yeah, you just go to the main person. You say, hey, let me do this for you, and then everything else pans out. No one ever shoved my head into a locker ever again.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah. Bullying is bad.
Yeah, but you gotta figure it out.
The only people I bully are my friends.
Yeah, I know.
And
you bully me all the time.
I expect it to come back. It's how I know that I'm talking to the right person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
We
not
bully each other
it's not
every day.
malicious.
No.
It's just a little.
Kidding me? If you shoved my head into a locker, I would turn around and like nunchuck you. Tom Norris. What is his? No.
Chuck. We are 16 minutes and 54 seconds into this.
I would Chuck Norris your ass so fast behind the Walmart. So get it right. Chuck Norris.
All right, let's see how we can transition back. Basic choreography, basic body movements on a bike.
Oh.
And then we went into
Chuck Norris. Okay.
being
Well,
a flautist. Is it flautist?
oh yes.
Or a flutist?
And I'm still waiting. Lizzo, it's on you, girl.
Is it
Come
flutist
on,
or
sing it.
flautist?
Flautist.
Okay. I just think of like flautas.
Can you see me right
for food.
now?
I can.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can.
No. Everything is turning into so much choreography. That's the thing. Is I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed a little bit because there's a lot of like choreography that's happening that to me, I feel like if you're going to do movements on a bike, that's already a little bit dangerous to maneuver around. I mean, people that are brand new sometimes don't even know if they're clipped in or not. There's a whole there's a whole thing that goes into this. I remember my first spin class, I didn't get properly set up because I just kind of felt like I was one of those that like falls through the cracks, which happens. That happens. Everybody understand that does happen. But what you should know is that if you're being given shoes that are special and don't look just like, why do we need, they're not magnetic. That's what I thought.
They do have some that are magnetic now.
What?
Yeah.
I'm mad.
Downhill mountain bikers use them.
Okay. Well,
My bike says I don't ride. I ride with when I ride downhill. I ride with regular like riding shoes and regular pedals. And my buddy goes, "Do you ride with magnetic pedals?" And I go, "What is that?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's so your feet don't blow off the pedal." And I was like, "Well, I'm not a pussy."
you know, whenever I had my own fashion line and I was working with manufacturing places that I had access to, I thought about doing just exactly that. But I was like, this is like a different thing. This is like not fabric and quality like stuff. This is like shoe stuff. But being able to, anyways, I digress. So there is a safety matter. That alone is hard enough. But when you're doing all these maneuvers on a bike, and now we're doing stuff that has, and I get it, no hands.
With pauses.
And if you're on a big hill, like lifting up your hands off of the handlebars, that's actually brilliant. I can't believe that we weren't doing that sooner. But there is also a safety aspect that comes into play that I wish people were talking more about and being more about the safety than about the showmanship. Because
Performance.
Yeah, the performance of it all. I'm not a combo choreo queen. I'm going to ladder up. I'm going to use movements that are going to work for you. I always say like the efficacy. Thank you, Doctor. What's his name?
Fauci.
Dr. Fauci. I love you.
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Fauci taught me.
Dr. Fauci was in charge of COVID.
Yeah, he taught me the word efficacy, and I feel so smart every time I use it.
Was I right when I said that?
You did. I feel like yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Every now and then, a bird gets a worm.
Welcome
A squirrel
to my world.
A squirrel gets a nut.
God, every day I'm always just like, what is that? Why'd I come in here? Anyway, Dr. Fauci, shout out to you. And Lizzo, still waiting on you to come on now. Anyway, efficacy. So movements with efficacy is what I always like to focus on. So whenever I have seen or taken a class that like there's movements that are just like a lean and like you like reach your arm out like you're asking for Jesus's holy water. I don't know. Like, what is this? Like, what is this?
Is it core work, or are you just moving your arms?
Exactly.
Is it
That's what I'm
just is
saying.
it just an added layer of movement that's not doing anything?
I recently took a very, one of my most favorite instructors that I follow on Instagram, her class, and I've been writing her classes on YouTube for a while, and I love her. We have the same music vibe, and so there's that. And when at first I started watching her, she and I have similar coaching techniques, so I totally vibed with that. So that's kind of why I like stuck on her. And I took her class recently in real life, and I was very like sadly disappointed because it was just a bunch of movements that she gave without counting, without any. So even for dancers, like when dancers are learning how to dance, like they're or learning a sequence, they're like, hey, cat, cat, yeah, poof, like whatever it is. There wasn't even that. It wasn't even like 4, 3, 2, 1, and it was just like, and this is, it was yeah.
There was no flow.
there was no cueing, coaching, nothing. It was just about 32 counts of a bunch of riffraff that I was like, reach, okay, got it, and then okay, elbows. And she was like, here's what we're gonna do. And see, I can't even like do an example because I wanna just be like, but I can't. It was silence. And then she decided to do that on a double beat on like a 128, like jumps type of tempo.
That's where it gets really scary.
Out of the saddle. But not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. And I'm looking around the room on the first time, and I'm like, none of us got that. All right, cool.
Nobody
All
nailed
right,
that one.
cool. Okay, I'm not the only one. Second time, I was like, okay, no one else. No, all right. Third time, I'm in my head too much, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna look around the room because I don't understand any of this, and now we're just here. Fourth time, I quit and I turned it into a big hill and just did my own damn thing. I said, middle fingers to the air. I can't. I'm done. I don't care.
You read the room, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
No, I'm not doing that. And then afterwards, talking to everybody, everybody was like, we didn't understand what was going on either. And I was like, all right, okay. Because I felt like a real asshole. Being an instructor, that's a lot of pressure. And people know that you're an instructor. And for whatever, thanks, Porfirio. Thanks, Porfirio. Happy birthday.
OP.
Fucker.
Is it his birthday?
It's going to be September 8th. Tomorrow. And I'm going to his ride at Ice.
Yeah.
Ice. Ay. But he put me on the front row, and I was like, oh, God, because all the people, all the King's horsemen and all the King's men, all the instructors from around town are in the front row. And I'm looking around, I'm like, they're not getting it either. Like, okay. And then we talked about it afterwards, and some of them were like, wow, what a time. And then some of them were like, nope. And I was like, nope. And we were like, nope. All of us nopers, we were like, that was fun, but no.
So that's a very niche group of instructors themselves are already a niche group of people. And then that puts an even smaller niche group inside there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I just
it's
feel
probably
like-
nice to know that you weren't the only one.
I feel like there's a lot of there's so much choreography going on with spin right now, and it's kind of exhausting. And people like me that have been doing this before the whole like choreo stuff really came into play, you've been taking classes for that since that. It's not something that I love. I'm open to it, but I need it to have efficacy. Fauci.
Yeah, it really needs to flow.
Yeah.
Like you can do two push, two press, sway right, sway left. Mm-hmm. Tap, tap. And then you start over. Push, push, press, press, sway, sway, tap, tap. Whatever, however it comes out, It's really hard when it's 128 BPM.
It's fine if whatever it is that you're doing, just make sure it's like you can do, like I always say in my classes, you can do 1,000 sit-ups, but if you're not doing the sit-ups right with the right form, you're just really kind of like wasting time and energy. And you're gonna maybe see a little bit of something, but like 1,000 versus 100.
There's a caloric
with
burn,
a good
but
form.
It's not
You have to
really
get
doing any work.
good form.
Yeah.
And it's like obliques, sure. That's not that exciting. That's not gonna be like, wow, beep boop, like jazz hands and all this like crazy cool looking stuff that is perfect for Instagram. But obliques are literally things that you can do even in your car, at your desk right now. Like you're just sitting there and you're just doing these tiny little like micro side bends, and that's it. And that is efficient. So whenever I'm like, all right, let's do that, it's not because I'm not trying, like, I want efficiency in good form, nothing else.
You're not in the room very long either. So why draw out something that can be done, rather quickly, and you get the same benefit?
Yeah.
Just like HIIT classes, right? Which I kind of view spin as a HIIT class, even though it's not technically a HIIT class. But there's variance in tempo, variance in resistance, body parts that you're working on.
Body pods. Hashtag body pods. That's an invention.
Body pods. Sponsored by
Body pods.
Purified drinking
What's a
water.
body pod? We don't know. We're going to invent it.
You're going to figure it out.
License that shit.
Made in Mexico.
TM.
Made in Mexico.
Trademark. Go on.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs to make sense what you're doing. I get if you're in a program where they're working, let's just say, and Jimmy has done this before.
Jimmy,
we talked about it in the last episode. It was her former roommate.
I love you so much, Jimmy.
She's an instructor. But like him and then Katie Krause's man, Zach, like they would build programs that you would start week 1, you'd work on something. Week 2, you would add on to that. Week 3, you would add on to it. Week 4, you would layer everything together and you would do it.
Correct.
So I think if you're doing it on a bike, it needs to be the same way, not try to knock everything
Totally
out in
makes sense.
45 minutes.
I see people posting all the time. They're like, all right, week 3. This, like, I love. Just totally had a brain fart.
If you're not watching this, you just put her forehead on the microphone. I'll try to give you a play-by-play.
Ride
but
Houston. Carson.
Not
Carson. She used to teach at Zen 22. Remember Carson and West were like the blonde and the brunette, like boop 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 West.
I think they were gone by the time I showed up there.
Really? All right. Well, perhaps.
If they weren't, I didn't take their class because they were not at 5:30 a.m.
Nevertheless, Carson still teaches spin and has been teaching at a studio in Houston called Ride with a Y, and is moving here with her husband but she's gonna commute. You gotta interview
where?
her. She's gonna commute to teach her classes at Ride in Houston.
No.
Girl,
That's going to last about a month.
I'm mad about the commute that I have to make, and it's like 30 minutes. What?
I had to drive to Huntsville for a job repair, and it took us about an hour to do the job repair.
I'm mad.
And I was furious when I found out that, hey, you're going to take Jacobo, go to Huntsville, and you're going to find this leak, and you're going to fix it, and you're going to come back. I was like, that is a full freaking day of my life.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to pay me enough, okay. But I can't imagine that kind of commute. I don't know the ins and outs. Carson, you got to talk. You got to, let's talk. We got to figure it out. Because I'm like, whew, make it worth it. You don't know who Carson is?
I don't.
Oh, come on.
I'm
All
sorry.
right. Well, you'll know. She's amazing. She's perfect. She's beautiful. And I can't even imagine why she's... That's commitment and love right there. But nevertheless, what were we talking about?
Building classes, building choreo.
Oh, yeah. So I
weeks.
watch her a lot on Instagram. Because remember, when I worked front desk at Zen 22, she was one of the instructors there. So Zen 22 was a studio that was based in DFW, South Lake, Fort Worth, Dallas, and Dallas Uptown. And I was in the Dallas studio. She taught there, and that's how I know her. Now, since then, all of our lives have life has been lifing, but she teaches there at Red Houston, and I'm using her as an example because it's like she will build each week. She'll have all this choreo, right? And I'm like, bitch, what are you doing? What happens? But she's got regulars, and it's like a class of people, a lot of people that look like you. In fact, one of our writers is like, we need more hot men that look like Kelsey. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Shh. But her classes, Carson, her whole entire first two rows are just men's. All the men's, all the king's horses and all the king's men's. And most of them aren't wearing shirts. Okay.
When it gets hot,
This is what happens. This is what happens.
we don't have sports bras, so
Come on now. What happened?
I guess we.
Get the man some Band-Aids for his nipples, I guess. I don't know what happens. But anywho, Hakalaka, she builds every week. And people come to the classes and they build, and it's like, so here's the first 8 counts. And then the next week is like, okay, we're gonna take last week, and then add do. And then the third week, do. Now, And I'm like, yes, but here's the thing. You have to be at a very specific studio for that kind of thing. You have to be at a studio that we have a lot of like people that are in class pass or just kind of like passing through. I don't want to say transients because that sounds, is that bad? Is that a bad word?
That is not the right word.
No, not that. What is the word that I'm trying to say? A lot of
I like just passing through. They might be coming through town.
passerbyers, not transients. Is that?
What does
I don't feel it's
nomadic people? Maybe?
Nomadic. Well, maybe.
They're kind of moving around. Or
I don't
across
know.
the
Is
U.S.
is transients even a bad word? I don't know anymore. Please.
It's implied that you're homeless for the most part. I would say. I could be wrong.
Oh, well. Side note, there was a homeless man the other day right by here, and I gave him a water and an umbrella, and he turned it down. I did a full ass U-turn, and it was hot, and I was like, "Wow!" And he said, "I was like, here's a full bottle of water and an umbrella that I'm willing to give you for shade," and he said, "Nah." And he shook his head and walked away, and I was like,
He probably has more stuff that he owns than you do, or I do.
I'm still mad about it. It was right outside of the Neon, like between Neon and Quick Trip.
Oh, for my tight ends.
Yeah. Don't give anyone anything over there.
There's an intersection.
I was offended. I was like, really? I was like, I had to pull my whole ass umbrella back in my car.
I used to see the same guy every day, or every time I drove through this intersection, and I just happened to have. I just stopped at the grocery store, so I had like apples, oranges, bananas. I had some other stuff with me, and I offered it to him, and he said no. And I was like, "You say anything helps, but you're not taking it." I don't know how we got onto homeless people.
Crack is whack. That's where I landed. I was like, that's what you want. That's all.
Yeah,
you don't need no water. You don't need no shade. You just want money.
You need
Ain't that crack?
You need to come take my spin class.
I'm mad. No, do not, sir. Anyways. So yes, choreography has gotten out of control.
Do you think it's gonna stay that way?
ADD. No. I think a lot of people are actually getting really frustrated with it. People that have been doing this for a while, like me, but I'm not frustrated with it. I'm not going to do
You're not encouraging.
That. Yeah, I'm not. I'm going to stick with what I like to do and what I know and what I do best. And if that's just, it's laddering and numbers, doing something that is efficacy, efficient, but doing it a lot. So, like chops, twisting, touching your hand to the opposite hip, using that twist, using your whole entire like middle section, that kind of stuff I'm going to do that and ladder and numbers before I do any kind of like 32 counts of choreography, because I don't even know. Like the only time I ever did that was when I was on the drill team, kicking my own face. Best high kicks. 2 years in a row.
Best high kicks. Sponsored by Nike.
Sponsor me, Nike. I was Mr. and Miss Valuable. Well, I wasn't Mr. I was Miss Valuable. Cedric Benson was Mr. Valuable. R.I.P. Anyways.
R.I.P. Cedric's, he's gone.
Yeah.
That's sad.
I know.
That was in high school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was homecoming queen.
Imagine that.
I know. I thought I was being punked.
You went from getting picked on by the girl gangs to being homecoming queen.
Yep.
Because you befriended Letty.
Always make sure you're friends with the leader of the pack. But she wasn't in high school though.
Oh. That was middle school.
Yeah. I don't know where it happened, but I was just always nice to everybody. Always be nice to everybody. That's all you have to do.
Yep.
I was in band. I was in dance. I was cool with the nerds. I was cool with the cool people. I don't know. I feel like there was always something up. I was like, I don't trust you.
They're looking out for themselves.
Popular kids always be suspicious. I got off topic, I know, but that's where we are. It runs true in real life. You always have to be nice to everybody and be kind. Last night, I had someone that came to my ride for the first time, had never done a ride before, And I cried the whole way home. And I'm not going to cry today, not doing that. But the whole reason why I love doing this is because of people telling me that they didn't think they could do this. They didn't think they were able to do this. They were unsure. They were doubtful. They're insecure. They're having a lot of things in their life, like depression, whatever the case is. And that is why this is the most special thing to me. That's it. I don't care about the choreography. We can do a million tap backs. Whatever it is, whatever it is that you're here for, I'm here for that. And that's why I love doing this. And she melted my heart. She was like, I didn't think I could do this. And I did that. And I was like, bitch, you chose the hour-long class?
Exactly. On a Friday.
I'm always like, when people are like, it's my first time to ever do this. And I'm like, did you know that you chose the hour-long class, right? Perfect. Nope, you're here now. You're strapped in, you're clipped in, it's fine. But to me, it's the most important thing to me is the mental health of it all. It's not the decoration of choreography. It's not about any of that. It's let's move our bodies, have good times with good music. The less that I can talk, the better.
That's not always true.
I mean,
It's
but
pretty-
sometimes when I feel like I've got a bomb-ass playlist, I'm like, I don't want to talk that much because this playlist is
Let your body talk.
right.
Rub it on the mirror. Put
Yeah.
a little bit of oil. Yeah. That was a nasty. When I say nasty, it was funny. That was a nasty oil angel you had today. It was like 3D.
That's why it's still there.
That's why it's still there. It's just smeared.
It looks like a planet. I
Kinda
kind of feel
does.
like it could be like art. It's like
It kind
a
of.
spaceship or an astronaut head.
We're gonna get political here, but it looks like Donald Trump's
Oh,
comb
it
over.
does. Oh my god. Oh my god. China. China.
So
Okay, sorry.
now that you are out west, Jen just recently
West.
moved, as we talked about last time.
Living with
You
in the
are
burbs.
in, we'll call it Fort Worth area, Fort Worth territory. What are you doing? I believe you have started recently teaching a new modality, correct?
Well, here at Neon Sculpt,
Yep.
I'm still caressing it. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's not. I don't get as excited about it as I do at spin because to me spin is just like more focused on like the music and the everything.
A sculpt class is more.
It
I say
is
it's
rhythm.
It is rhythm based, but I think it's more monotonous.
The one here, yes. Yeah. It's what?
Monotonous, where there's no ebbs and flows to it. Not like there is in a spin class.
I mean, I'm still
Because how do you, if you're not drastically increasing your weight, it's just like increasing your resistance. I don't get me wrong, I enjoy sculpt classes, but it's just a completely different.
yeah. It's a different
completely
beast.
different modality, yeah.
And because it's the only one here at Neon, it's kind of like dangerously sexy that I get to kind of be like, well, there's nothing else that we're having to work against. Like, this is the only sculpt class once a week, and this is what it was, but
This is what it is.
maybe we can move into a little bit of this and that. So every week I kind of play with it and do a little, I don't know. To me, it's like the biggest homework for me is is working on teaching my sculpt class on Monday nights at 7:45 p.m. 7:45 p.m. on Monday nights at Neon.
Obviously, you've been doing that much less in your timeline of being an instructor.
Correct.
So
I did teach a similar thing at Hustle and at the Ride House, Cycle and Sculpt.
yeah. Is it harder to program?
Yep.
Yeah.
For me, it's harder for me because I'm used to programming what I know how to do with
On a
Ride.
bike, on a bike, you can always modify and change.
Yeah, you read the
Super
room.
easy.
And this is different because I don't want to blame Neon because Neon has its strength room, and the strength room is beautiful. It's great. It's got so many toys, so many activities.
I mean, it has
so many activities. We can do
pull-ups,
aerobics. What does they say?
Step Brothers.
Yeah. What do you say? Go on.
I don't remember what we can do.
We can do so many activities. Do you like guacamole? What do you say?
Did we just become best friends?
Yup. My phone's probably not even recording anymore. But anyway, you get it.
Yeah.
You get it, listeners. So, what were you talking about?
We're talking about programming your sculpt versus a ride.
Oh, yeah.
How much more time it takes.
Just a lot
How
of
much
more,
difficult.
lots more activities, lots more like body mindfulness.
Yeah.
Because you're working with your own body and doing things that are small movements, big, and then small movements, small pulsing. And I get carried away with music, and I'm like, just do this.
Just like an arm segment off the bike.
The whole time. I'm like, wow, we've been doing squats forever. But like, really and truly, it should be like down, down, up for, like, and then like pulse, 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 pulse. And then like down, down, up, slow, etc., etc.
Yeah,
Do you hear me?
probably the, I don't know. I'd say probably the best. She's scratching her microphone head cover. I haven't taken a sculpt class here, but I took probably the most I've taken was at Class Studios, and that was might be the only place I've ever taken them. And when I walked in, it was with Kristen, who was at True Fusion, and I was like, I had no idea what to expect. So I expected, I was like, okay, it's going to be similar to spin, but maybe rhythm-based Pilates. I don't know if that's a good way to describe sculpt.
Yeah, that.
But I got
Fair.
done, and I was like,
I get it.
that was fun.
Yeah.
I get it. I could do this more.
Yeah. That's kind of why I chose to take on that format, because it was rhythm based. Anything without music, I'm out. Count me out. I don't want it. I don't want to be a part of it. Music is everything to me. And that's how I get through anything. So when you're working out, you need good music. You need a rhythm and a beat to do something to, and that's it. For me, that's why. That's why. Period.
All right. Is that? Are you not looking? Are you looking to add any additional modalities on top of your resume, or no? No. Okay.
Not really. Nah.
That's good.
It's just really like music for me.
What do you have on your plate that's relatively new that you're super excited about?
Well,
We'll see if you go where I think you're gonna go.
Yep. I feel like I'm looking at these towels right now, though, and look at all this mess. It's crazy. Bike number 26. What's going on with you? Anyway, it's like a little
It's like a
It
shower
looks
towel.
like no, it looks like a little French bulldog right
Oh my
now.
God. Looks like a snail.
It looks like a French bulldog. Come on now.
From here, it looks like a snail.
You see snail, I see French bulldog. So I feel like I'm kind of good. I like there's about to be a whole new training session thing going on with Neon for the fall, which they do every fall and every spring. They do a training session, which you have to be invited to do, and you have to audition and all that stuff. And I've always wanted to be a master trainer for this, but in my right now era, whatever that is, I'm not really that interested in doing that right now. I'm would love to like continue doing what I do, but it's not right now. Training others isn't where my head's at. My head is at my personal life, which I mean, I feel like this is where you're like, this is what you were going to talk about. Uh-huh. I've kind of become this like
4 minutes later.
bonus mom. Shut up.
Oh, I wasn't even going bonus mom.
I know, because I'm not, because I'm the girlfriend. We don't have a but bonus mom girlfriend of 2 young children, and it's like 50% of the time, but 50% of the time, what the actual fuck? We don't know. I'm constantly reaching out to all my mom friends, and I'm like, what happens? Go on. I'll wait. And then they're like, we don't know. You just do it. You just continue
Play it
on.
by ear.
You just keep going. And I'm like, keep going. But but what happens when, and they're like, just power through it. And I'm like, I don't feel like what are we talking about now?
So moving beyond bonus mom girlfriend.
What are we talking about?
What-
I'm mad.
What are you trying to learn right now? Maybe a little
Nothing.
A little scratch. A little turntable.
Oh.
Come
no,
on, Jen.
yeah.
Here
No,
we
yeah.
go.
Well, eventually.
What are you playing with? You're playing with it, right?
Oh, I was like, are you calling me some kind of drug addict with your, what are you scratching your arm for, weirdo? Stop being weird,
Little
Kelsey.
meth head scratching your neck.
Weird. No drugs. I only do wine and weed.
You heard it here first.
Only wine and weed. Anyway, yeah, no, I haven't really gotten into it, but my boyfriend George, thank you, George, I love you so much. I would like to give him a shout out because he got me a DJ controller. I don't even know what you call it. A DJ controller table.
A mixer.
Basically, he knows that I'm obsessed with Troy Boy. And that is what Troy Boy uses. But like bigger scale. And he knows that I want to I'm not trying to be like Troy Boy. I just want to create my own music for my own rides. And then once I get really good at it, maybe like start, hooking up.
Selling a service.
Yeah. Hooking it up for my friends and my peeps.
Might need that in Mexico.
Word. You have to make that a podcast of your own about the Mexico thing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to know more.
Yeah, we're starting it. It's gonna.
Can't wait.
It's literally how the idea came. It's very similar to this. How the idea came about, and everything that we're doing until we're there.
Things just happen. The universe be universing.
I had to tell her yesterday. It's not. I said we will make this happen but it's not going to be on our timeline. It's on the universe's timeline. We can plan and schedule all we want, but if it's
Ain't that the truth?
not there, then we'll just wait.
That is so freaking true, man. So true. But yeah, that's so yeah, George got me that mixed board controller thing, and the manual is 165 pages. And I said, "Whoop, I don't know. I've never even finished a whole entire book. Not even like a bathroom book. Like, not even the book that you read when you are taking a poop. Didn't finish that one either. I'm still on level 2. Words with friends or whatever. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, so yeah, we don't know. We're going to have to watch YouTube and figure it out. But you know what? Once I figure it out, y'all just wait. Y'all wait. It's going to be the best shit ever. So, find me in 5 years. DJ Jennergy. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Gee, that's right.
Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. No.
That was going to be so loud. She's
Pew,
not.
pew, pew.
There she goes.
Pew, pew, pew. All right. Pew, pew, pew. All right. What?
I think that might be a sign. It's loud. Yeah. We're 59 minutes in.
Shut up. See?
How did time fly?
Because I'm
That's-
ADD, and so are you. Ba-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Goodbye.
What's your Instagram handle?
Ride with Jenn.
2 N's?
Ride with Jenn. Just exactly the way that you would expect it to be spelled, with 2 N's.
Same thing on TikTok? TikTok.
Yeah, I know, but my
know if
TikTok
you-
is kind of random.
Okay.
I'm a little rando with the TikTok. It's not really my place of preference.
I still don't have the app. My friend, one of the twins, as you call them, he sends me TikToks all the time, and I go to open it and it says, you have to have the app. And I say, no, sir, I'm not doing it.
Oh, no wonder why a lot of... Oh, you know what? It doesn't matter. That
Yeah.
cleared up a lot of reasons why I haven't heard back from certain people that I've sent TikToks to that aren't on TikTok. I get it. Okay, now I get it. Well, anyways, get your ass on TikTok, bitch.